Now, Russia ups the ante against Ukraine on day 24 of its invasion. Massive destruction across Ukrainian cities has been reported. UN has now estimated nearly 6.5 million people have been displaced in Ukraine. Over 3.2 million people have fled the country. At least 112 children have unfortunately lost their lives since the beginning of this war. Here are the details. Let's have a listen.
Russian missiles, rockets continue to rain on Ukrainian cities. No respite from the ferocious Russian onslaught. Buildings on fire, plumes of black smoke from houses and high-rises. Destroyed infrastructure. The scenes across Ukrainian cities are of absolute devastation. The city of Kharkiv has faced the heaviest damage in unsparing bombardments. Fire raging in once posh residential neighborhoods. Mariupol is charred beyond recognition. Heavily damaged residences and destroyed commercial establishments narrate the ferocity of the strikes. At least 130 civilians were rescued from the rubble of the theater used for refuge. It was bombed earlier by Russia. Many more are still feared trapped.
I want everyone to hear me, especially in Moscow. The time has come to meet, to talk. The time has come to restore territorial integrity and justice for Ukraine. Otherwise, Russia's costs will be so high that you will not be able to rise again for several generations.
Russian Defense Ministry meanwhile released a video showing its helicopters witnessed heavy shelling that destroyed residential buildings and also resulted in multiple injuries and casualties. But the Ukrainian army has been able to hold the Russian troops at bay, stalling their advancement towards Kyiv. But the city is now completely deserted.
I'm here in Kyiv, in the Independence Square. I would just like to show you around how this city looks like, the center of the city in the fourth week of war. Everywhere it's quiet, there are no people around, it's like a totally deserted city, and this is what Kyiv is in the fourth week of war.
A country on brinks. Many Ukrainian cities are reporting mass casualties despite being largely deserted. The deaths of children in the war has crossed 112. Over 65 lakh Ukrainians are now homeless. With Rajesh Pawar in Kyiv, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, it's day 24 of this invasion and Russia's onslaught over Ukraine continues. Attack on airfields, charred houses, bloodbath on streets of Ukraine. Horrifying visuals here that's emerged shows the extent of damage on all Ukrainian cities that have come under attack. Here are the before and after images coming right here on your screens, unfortunately showing the devastation, the extent of damage.
Bloodbath on the streets of Ukrainian cities. Dilapidated buildings. Charred markets. Once brimming with life and activity, Ukrainian cities now in ruins. The capital city of Kyiv continues to be in the eye of storm with relentless bombardments. In a bid to capture the capital, Russia has been launching missile attacks on residential and commercial buildings. The extent of damage of the attacks on Kyiv is horrifying. The city of Kharkiv is in ruins. The Russians have attacked the main commercial establishments of the area. Back-to-back shelling on large markets and residential buildings have caused a lot of damage to the infrastructure of the city. Multiple buildings have been reduced to rubble. The city of Mariupol has been one of the worst hit. Missile attacks on the city have left the buildings charred with smoke billowing out. Once bustling, it is now a ghost city. After Russians bombed a theatre-turned-shelter where thousands took refuge, 130 people were rescued from under the debris, while many others are still feared trapped. Kramatorsk city in Donetsk wears a deserted look. The buildings are in shambles, the trees burnt and falling apart. Russian attacks have ravaged homes of many in the city as smokes continue to emerge from residential buildings. One of the largest markets in Eastern Europe, Barabashevo, was shelled by the Russian military on Friday. The massive shellings have completely damaged the market. A massive fire raging on in multiple shops. Plumes of black smoke engulfing the entire market. The outskirts of Kyiv, Vyshgorod, paint a devastating picture. The town witnessed relentless shelling in the last few days, resulting in massive fires. Many commercial and industrial establishments ablaze in the strikes. Bureau Report, India Today.
Выпечки нема.